Hello everyone. So it's time to do a bit of foam target repair. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this 48 by 36 target, which is perfectly worn. It's not overworn. It's just enough that we can put an insert in here and it'll be almost as good as new. This is a 24 by 24 and the goal is to cut a hole out here and then place this inside it, and let's get at it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to place this little bit here, and then we're going to go and mark off the corners because we have to cut the hole a little bit smaller so that they can squeeze this in here. Okay, so I've gone off camera and put some masking tape on here to make it a little bit easier. So our goal next is just to, using this handy dandy butter knife, we're going to go ahead and cut down and then cut inside of the masking tape about a ½ inch or so, and that should be enough to squeeze the insert back in. So here we go. All right, there we go. All right, let's see if it'll fit. Okay, it's pretty tight, but that's the whole idea, is to just get it in there. A little bit smaller, you might have to trim it a little bit, but let's see, there. And there. Wow, so that's it. Cutting all around and then sticking in, like I said, a little smaller. It fits perfectly. All right, so that was fun. All right, moving on to the next step. Okay, so now that we've completed putting the insert back in, now we have to secure it, because the problem is that at the range, if you just was to leave it like this, someone would either steal it or they would get their arrow in and yank it out and they wouldn't know what to do and they'd leave it on the ground. So we don't want that to happen. So what we're going to use is we're going to use a nylon string, and we're going to actually put the nylon string on the long end. We're going to push 2 nylon string. Essentially, it's going to go back here. It's going to go through, all the way up, over the top, down, over here, and then lock back over here. So what that will do is it'll prevent the insert from being pull-outable. So let's get started. First, we're going to make sure that the insert's flush. So make sure that it's all flush with the edges. Kind of pull it up. There, so it's all pretty. And then we're going to use a few things. We're going to use a skinny arrow with a very nice sharp knock. And then we're going to use some nylon cord. And let's go ahead and lay out the nylon cord so we know how much we need. So we're going to go ahead and add an extra bit on this end. And that nylon cord is going to go through here. And then it's going to go over. And then it's going to come down. And then it's going to go back and give a little extra right about in there. Okay. With the nylon cord in ready, then we can start pushing the nylon cord through the foam bale. Okay, so we take our nylon cord and we go ahead and start the process. So this is really actually pretty easy. This will go through. It's going to go through this end, and it's going to go all the way through here. We're going to actually thread it through. So just so you know how that works, we take the nylon cord, stick it at the end of the knock, and then push it right through. Now, of course, it's not going to go through the entire set of foam. We're going to push this through. We're going to establish some holes, and then we're going to pull the insert out and then tighten it all the way around. It's really not that hard. So I'm going to go in about 2 inches on both sides. Okay. We're going to go ahead and pull our insert back out. Very tight. And with the insert back out, we're going to go ahead and connect that right into it. All right. So what we've done here is we push the nylon cord through and then go ahead and take the arrow out, or the arrow shaft, should I say, and then do the same thing for here. We know it's about 2 inches in, so we can actually do this on both sides in the middle without having to mess around with the insert again. Okay, get the cord on the knock, give it a little bit of lee. Here we go, and just push it through. And if you do it pretty level, you can actually come out the other end pretty nicely. There we go. And there we are. See how the nylon comes through on the back side? So it's pretty close to dead center. So we're going to go ahead and push that through, and so we can pull the cord through. I've gone ahead and pushed the shaft all the way through, so now we have nylon on the back and nylon cord on the front, right here. We can pull that through, and since we know it's 2 inches in, we don't even need that. We can just come over here, measure it in about 2 inches in the center, and then push it right through. And there we go. So when we tighten this down, the end of it will be locked, and I'll talk about that later. And then once we tighten this down, this will all be nice and tight and in there, so it can't be pulled out. Next, we're going to do the same. We're going to drag this over here. We're going to bring it over to the same distance on the other side. And then we're going to push it all the way through. So that's about as complicated as it gets. Now, once it's all done, then pretty much leave it. Now, yes, I could probably put glue on it, but I suspect these things will have to be replaced over time. So once this is done, this will come all the way through. It'll come on through the back, and then we're going to come back over here, and we're going to go ahead and lock it in place with a washer. And the washer concept is simply this. You're going to take a the end of the nylon cord. Let's see if we can find washers in the old toolbox. Just going to take a generic washer on the back end so you can begin to see what I'm talking about. We're just going to go ahead and loop through this washer a couple times. And again, this washer is simply to hold the nylon cord and also lock it when we're all done. So here's an example. I'm going to take this washer, I'm going to leave it over here. We're going to pull the nylon tight. And I'm not going to put this insert in, but just for demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and pull this tight. And then this is going to come tight. So I think you get the idea. The bottom line is that when this is done, this will be locked in. It'll be locked in on both sides. It'll go through on this side. It'll come back, and then it will tie up against the washer. So that's about all there is to it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this job up, and let's see what we can do. Now that we've pushed the nylon cord all the way through to the other side, now it's time to go ahead and lock the foam insert back into place. So let's go ahead, and it doesn't even matter if these are loose. You can just like stick it right in because we're going to have to tighten it up. So I'm not going to manhandle this, get it back in the hole. There we go. Now we've already locked this side, remember, with the washer. So I'm just going to do this washer a little bit better. That was a quick job before. I'm going to go ahead and lock this, put this on a little bit better, wrap it up. Then we're going to go pull the cord all the way through tightly. Okay, that's a lot better. Got the actual locking washer nicely set. Okay, now we're just going to go ahead and pull it through. Take the end of it and start pulling until you get it really tight. Oh yeah. Pull it up, and then on the other side, same thing. Pull it up, over, and then pull the back side. All right, pretty tight right there. So now let's just go ahead and get this in there nicely where we want it. Nice and even before we tile it down. Okay. Flush as best as we can with the foam. And again, you can adjust all of this later because all we're using is nylon cord to secure it. So we're going to go around one more time just for fun, make sure it's extra tight. Oh yeah, that's really tight. Okay, so again, this is the locking washer. All it is a washer at the bottom that's holding it in place. And then we're just going to get this thing as tight as we can. And then drag it across. And then around the washer a few times. Okay, it's going to naturally lock that nylon cord in. Obviously, If someone really wanted this insert, they could cut the nylon cord and run off with it, but why would they do that? Notice we have plenty of cord left. That's really super important. Get that tight knot in there. Couple back knots. Good. Just going to leave that here. We might need that later. So that is it. We've now added a new insert, and this thing is not coming out. And if it is coming out, it's going to take a lot of effort. So for someone to come up to the range and smack that thing and try to yank that insert out. So here we go. And there you go, all done. So that's all there is to adding the foam insert back into an existing bale. This is a great example of a serviceable foam target that can still be used. All you need to do is add in an additional 24 by 24 insert, and you're back in business. Hang her up.